Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to the new lesson of the Arabic series. Today in this lesson, we will read about the mud, and the next lesson will be about the lean. So these are the two lessons are actually joined with each other. Let's start our lesson. What is mud? Here in this lesson, we will discuss about the mud. So we have to know about what is actually a mud. According to the instructions, if the letter before alif has fatha, if there is a letter and that has like a fatha on it, and after that letter it is alif, that is called alif madda. I'll show you in the examples, but we have to know about, first of all, we have to know about what is actually that mud. And if the letter before waw sakin, if there is waw and it is silent and there is another letter before that waw and it has dhamma, we will call that waw as waw madda. And if there is ya sakin, it means if there is ya silent, a silent ya, and before that ya there is a letter, any letter that has kasra under it, we will call that ya, it is ya madda. So that will be also the pronunciation and the sound of these madda, that will be like equal to one alif. You can count it at for 1 or 2 seconds, but mostly like that will be a sound as one alif, or like standing fatha. We read in the previous lesson that its sound will be we read in the previous lesson that this the madda sound will be equal to that standing fatha, standing kasra, and standing dhamma sound. So let's practice them here in the boxes. In first box, here we have, in the first box, we have alif. You can see it here, there is alif. And before that alif, there is a letter, ba, which has fatha. So alif has fatha on a letter before it. We'll call that alif madda, and its pronunciation will be as the pronunciation of the standing fatha. So that will be ba alif fatha ba, ba alif fatha ba. Next will be ba waw dhamma bu. We read that if there is silent waw and before that waw there is a letter, that could be any letter. There is ba, for example, there is ba, but that could be any letter. So if there is any other if there is a letter and there is dhamma on that letter before the sakin or the silent waw, we'll call it waw madda, and we will read it like ba waw dhamma, ba waw dhamma bu. We'll join the two letters and we'll read them with the sign of the first letter. So that will be ba waw dhamma bu. Next will be ba ya kasra bi. As per the instructions, there is ya silent, and before that ya there is a letter which has kasra under it. So that will be ya madda, and we will read it as the sound of the standing kasra. That will be b, ba ya kasra b. Next is ta alif fatha ta. Next will be ta waw dhamma tu. Ta ya kasra ti. Tha alif fatha tha. Tha waw dhamma thu. Tha ya kasra thi. Ha alif fatha ha. Ha waw dhamma hu. Ha ya kasra hi. Kha alif fatha kha. Kha, wow, dhamma, khu. Kha, ya, kasra, khi. Ra, alif, fatha, ra. Ra, wow, dhamma, ru. Ra, ya, kasra, ri. So according to the instructions and according to the practice of this lesson, we came to know that if there is a silent alif, a silent waw, and a silent ya, and there is fatha before the alif, there is dhamma before the waw, and there is kasra before the ya, we will call them alif madda, waw madda, and ya madda. And the second thing we came to know is that what will be its pronunciation? So its pronunciation will be the same as we pronounce the standing fatha, the standing kasra, and the standing dhamma. The standing fatha, the standing kasra, and the standing dhamma pronunciation is again repeated here, but that was by the own sign of movement. And here it is due to a letter and a sign, a letter and a sign. So we call them the madda lesson, and there is alif madda, waw madda, and ya madda. Thank you for this lesson. We'll inshallah meet you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.